Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Downer. Thanks for joining us
Hey,
on
Mike.
Roots to Renovation. I am here with Jody Peterson and Ryan Peterson. Jody is the founder and CEO, and Ryan is the COO. How are we doing today, guys?
We're doing
Doing
great.
great.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I think we should talk about what happens during a professional roof inspection. Sound okay with you guys?
That's
Let's
great.
do it.
You guys probably know a little bit about this, don't you?
We
Yeah,
do.
I guess
So
you could say that. It's been 45 years. Well, I haven't been inspecting for 45 years. The company has. I'm a bit younger than you, Dad. But yeah, after 45 years of inspecting roofs, we've seen it all in the Quad Cities, Davenport, Bettendorf. So we know what it is that you need. Things that you can't see from the driveway, we can see it up on top and tell you exactly what's going on up there.
So, what does a professional roof inspection involve? Like, how long does it take? And what are you guys looking for? And what do you guys inspect for?
well, I guess I can go ahead and take this one. Time wise, you're probably looking at half an hour to an hour for a complete thorough inspection. And we get calls more for new roofs or roof leaks. So while we're up there, we're going to look over everything and inspect that. For calls for actual inspections, maybe what would you say, Ryan? 1 out of 50
Yeah,
queries are for an inspection.
sure.
And usually that's for the sale of a home, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But every home that we get a call on is going to get a thorough inspection. Not necessarily a written one unless the homeowner asks for it, but we're going to be looking for flashings around pipes that are not sealed correctly, flashings around chimneys, any protrusion through the roof. We're going to make sure that that's sealed properly. We're going to look for the age of the roof, see if there's any what we would call cracking of the shingles, like little spider cracks, any curling, any weak deck, like maybe 3/8 inch plywood or half-inch plywood that is wearing thin, had a leak and maybe starting to rot out. We'll check the gutters, make sure the gutters are draining properly. Pretty much anything that involves your roof while we're up there looking at it, we're gonna see it. We're gonna let you know what we saw. Even like animals, sometimes we'll see spots where animals get up there. Raccoons, squirrels start digging things away, and you may not even know it because you can't see it from the ground.
Right. And
Yeah,
that's just the exterior. There's interior stuff
Right.
too. As part of, and we've talked about in other podcasts, inside the attic there, on the underside and in the attic, that's part of a roof inspection too.
Which is critical. Like if you call us, you want a real inspection, full blown, you're going to need to meet us there so we can get inside and look up in the attic space as well.
yeah. So you guys make sure that you hit all the key parts of the roof. Because I know you'd mentioned, the flashing and the decking. Are there other key parts of the roof that you guys kind of really get into?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what there is up there. I mean, there's some roofs that are pretty basic, right? Just a
Right.
two-sided gable. In that roof, maybe it doesn't take you an hour to inspect that one. But we just know what we're looking for, and we know, hey, this is going to be an issue, or this is going to be an issue in the next couple of years or so. A lot of things are just wear and tear. But like some of the things you just mentioned, Jody, like maybe an animal tore something apart, or the caulk wore out, or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just repaired
So
one 3 days ago where a raccoon tore off some ridge cap. In the spring they're always up there trying to dig into your roof so they can make a little
Yeah,
home.
right. Birds too. Birds making nests, and you're like, hey, maybe we should do something here. Maybe
Plug
it's in a
vents.
gutter. A lot of people think we just do roofs. We don't. We do it all. We do gutters, siding, anything on the outside of a house. But yeah, springtime animals are crazy, getting into things, tearing things up.
yeah, I'm just gonna smile and wave because I don't want to offend any bird
Yeah.
lovers, but boy, can they be a terror on your home. Um, so during an exterior roof inspection, what signs of wear or damage are you looking for on shingles, gutters, and other visible components?
The main thing is granule loss. Because a lot of times you can't see this from the ground. I was just on one yesterday, and I don't know. I don't think this roof was done that long ago, but especially on the southern exposures. So where we live here in the Quad Cities, the sun's going to hit those southern exposures more, and they tend to wear out faster. This thing had like most of the granules gone on this roof. I couldn't believe it, and the homeowner had no idea. And I said, hey, you need to be thinking about replacing this roof because there's not much left. This is now the asphalt's just baking away. The granules are gone.
How old was that roof, Ryan?
I think that roof is maybe 15 years old.
Yeah.
And so these are, I don't know if it's a bad shingle, or we've talked about this in other podcasts, maybe the ventilation isn't right. Remember how we've talked about shingles baking from the inside out? So there could be something going on there on this one that needs a more thorough inspection on on this house with the ventilation.
No, that makes sense. So, hey, as long as we're into that, so this you tied that perfectly into my next question. That is, why is an attic inspection such an important part of a roof assessment, and what problems can moisture or, like you were saying, poor ventilation, insulation issues, or daylight penetration levels reveal?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. All those things tie in together. Right, Dad? Were you going to talk about it? You actually talked about this in the last podcast, so go ahead.
Yeah. So for sure, when we go out to do an estimate, and if the homeowners are there, which we recommend you be there so we can take a peek in the attic, that isn't always feasible. We understand that. We can do an inspection without, but as we get closer to perhaps putting that roof on, we want to get up in the attic and look around, because then you can see if bathroom vents are attached to pipes and then going to the outside, or are they just exhausting in the attic and throwing warm air up there and causing condensation in the wintertime. We can check the underside of the decking itself, see if it's starting to mold. I mean, we'll see mold on the underside of a roof deck where you can't see it on the top side. All you see are shingles. You might feel it being a little weak on the top side, but you're wondering why, right? So you look inside and you can see there's been a moisture problem for many years, where warm moist air is escaping from the house for one reason or another. The vents are not the right amount, so you're not getting enough of that warm moist air exiting the attic space, and it's causing a problem with the decking. So we're going to correct all those problems before we put a new roof on, because you put a brand new 50-year roof on, it's only as good as that decking underneath that it's nailed to. So if that's bad, it's a waste of money. You got to replace that decking and then go from there. So that we like to get in that attic space and just look around, check the penetrations, see if there's been leaking around chimneys or pipes or whatever, find out why. I've actually had a competitor of mine one time right after he retired, says, hey, I'm out of the business now. And because I was talking about a roof that we got called on that he did, and the homeowner was unhappy because he didn't caught these problems. And he says to me, we just put that roof back on the same way it was before. Now, that's a terrible attitude, because if it was wrong before, why would you put it on wrong again? You want to see what the problems are and correct them and put the proper roof on if there was problems beforehand.
Unreal. But hey, that's why you call Peterson.
That's right.
You got
it. So guys, I know we kind of touched on this briefly, and this is kind of an easy question, but it's kind of a follow-up to my very first question. How long should a thorough roof inspection take, and why can a quick inspection sometimes miss important issues?
Well, I think everything like we just said, some of those things you just have to look a little bit closer so that you in the future you don't have the same problem again. If you put the roof back on the exact same way when it had issues and wore out prematurely, you want to make sure it doesn't happen again. We don't want to just keep selling people stuff over and over again that they don't need. If you would have taken a little bit more care in the beginning and done it right, then it's a lot of money saved over the course of the roof, over the course of, the life of the home. So, spend a little bit more time up front, save a lot of time and money on the back end.
Right. How many times have we had a customer say that has given us the job over a competitor say they didn't even get up on the roof?
Oh yeah. So
talk to me, send an estimate. They didn't get up there and look around and see what problems might actually be there.
Yeah, you can do an estimate from a satellite view now, and like a lot of times, these other competitors, they don't even know. And we have like a
and I'm not saying that's wrong. Some houses you can look at and say, this is pretty straightforward. There's probably not anything wrong with that, but still, if you had an opportunity to get up there, we're going to get up there.
Right.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because Jody, I think this takes it back to a saying from years of my day. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got.
That's right. That's right.
Do you remember that saying?
I do. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again.
And expecting different results.
Different. Yeah.
Yep. Those are two very, very true. Those both ring very true in what you just said. So, what should a homeowner expect from a high quality roof inspection report? So what should they be looking for, and how does it differ from like a simple verbal assessment that some of the what do we say, fly-by-nighters will give you?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's just going to list everything. There's going to be pictures, and it's going to show you in depth like every component of the roofing system. So the shingles, the flashings, the penetrations where anything goes through a roof, so pipes, chimneys, anything like that. And then even more in depth, you got pictures in the attic that would explain things that are wrong with ventilation or insulation or the roof deck. And it's just going to show you every little thing and talk about it, and then give you the information you need to go forward. Well, what is it that we need to do about this? Or maybe this isn't a concern. It's giving the homeowner all the information they need to make the decisions in the future so that their home is what it needs to be. It's protected. It's good.
Yep. A vague verbal report not going to make any sense because the homeowner is not going to understand the lingo of a roofer, probably.
No.
Right? So if you give a vague verbal assessment, they're going to maybe nod, yeah, but they really nothing to refer to go back and do their own research to make sure they really know what's going on.
Yeah. And if they have any questions, I love talking about roofs.
Love it.
Sometimes I look and I'm like, hey, am I boring you? Like I could talk about roofs all day long. So if you want to know, I'll tell you about them.
So I can tell you just, being a city kid and, living in the suburbs in Iowa and being around suburban people. And I know you guys are going to roll your eyes at this, but I actually have some of my friends that when we were talking about stuff and I said, but then when you're talking about the soffit and the fascia, and they looked at me like I was using foreign words.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they own homes and have no idea what soffit and fascia are.
Right.
And I just went, never mind.
Yeah. We get people that will, they don't even know how to say it, like soffit and fascia. We get all kinds of strange. It's not their job. That's our job.
Right. Yeah. So when you say that the verbals and using terms, like I said, some of my friends don't even know and that's just the basic. I mean, so who knows? Yeah. So I understand that very well.
Right.
So, guys, what's the difference between a free and paid roof inspection, and when does each option make sense?
Well, like you talked about, Jody, when a lot of times a super duper thorough roof inspection comes up when somebody's selling a home or buying a home, because this is where, you brought in the value of the home, and am I going to have to put a new roof on in 2 years? Oh my goodness, I didn't figure this when I was buying this house, So that's where a lot of times these thorough roof inspections come into play. A lot of times maybe somebody is just like, hey, my roof it's worn out, I need a new roof, and we can do as thorough of an inspection as you want, but a lot of times they know, hey, this roof's just worn out, we need a quote for a new roof. So okay, those are usually pretty straightforward. But yeah, that's what I would say. A lot of times it's in buying and selling. Is that what you think too, Dad? I mean,
yeah, I think so. And I think, when we inspect something at Peterson Roofing, our inspection process, it's designed to give you the information you need to go forward. So we might get up on your roof and a past customer, let's say, hey, how's my roof holding up? We'll get up there and we're not going to tell them they need a new roof if they don't. So in that case, it could be just a very short verbal process. Hey, roof looks great, 7-8 years old. you got another 25 years from what we can tell just looking at it, and that's all they need.
Right.
And other ones, of course, are going to be a lot more in depth.
Right. Here's my little story. We just talked about this in the last podcast we did, I'm pretty sure. This is a roof inspection, even though I didn't write anything out. These people called me out for a leak. And the leak was, and I looked up on the roof, they had it in their kitchen above their range, okay? Come to find out, their range vent pipe didn't go anywhere. It just went up in the attic, past the insulation, and stopped. So it was just dumping all the warm, moist air in the attic, and it had rotted out the wood decking right above it. So I'm in the attic. I had to go into the attic to see this, and then I pinpointed where the leak was, and I said, "Listen, what you need here, your roof is fine." And oddly enough, it was an old roof put on in 2005. They still had original paperwork for it, but it was a very good shingle that's still hanging on. And I said, "You don't need a new roof. This one will last longer." So I could have tried to sell these people a new roof, but I didn't. He said, "What you need here is just a vent. You need to finish. The pipe needs to go up to the roof, put a vent on top, replace this wood, and you're good to go. And I think your roof will last another 10 years or so." So you don't need to know all the things. Like you said, Mike, you don't need to know how to say fascia and soffit and all that stuff. We can explain these things, but also it really comes down to who you trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing it a long time under the same name. Haven't changed our name, we're not ducking people in the grocery store. We live in this community. We take care of people, and you can trust us to give you the best work, the best roof possible.
Perfect answer. So,
right.
So guys, how can an annual roof inspection help homeowners save money by identifying small problems before they turn into like major repairs or worse yet, full roof replacements?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that and say, if we didn't put your roof on, you probably do need an annual roof inspection. If we put it on, you probably don't need an annual roof inspection, because we're going to make sure that, let's say, flashings need to be checked. Probably if we did it every 5 years, and that might just be a spot that needs caulk. Because if a roof is done right, proper flashings made out of metal and not using a ton of caulk or flashing cement, you're not going to need roof inspections. I'd say every 5 years, you might want to check and make sure if someone else did your roof, check, was the flashings nailed down correctly? Were they caulked correctly? Did they use a good shingle and not a factory second? Is that shingle starting to wear out? If we did it, if they did it, someone else did it every year, probably not a bad idea. If we did it, I'd say every 5 years. And we get those calls from time to time where, hey, a tree limb fell on my roof. You did my roof 5 years ago. And while you're up there, can you look around and make sure everything's okay? So yeah, if you want an inspection, we'll do it. And we're not going to charge you anything. If you're a past customer, we get those calls from time to time. Hey, can you just come over and check things out? And we'll do that for you. Just courtesy.
Perfect. So, we'll just kind of wind this up. I think you've given us a lot to think about and what to look for when someone is inspecting your roof, and it should be you guys, but at least now that they know what to look for and see if it's being done right. So, guys, to wind this up, just kind of tell everybody, what does Peterson Roof's inspection process look like for Quad City homeowners, and why is it designed to be completely no pressure?
Okay, yeah, like I just said, we're going to give you an honest opinion, whether you're a former customer or you're somebody else that some other competitor put the roof on. We're going to tell you exactly what we think you need or don't need. It's very transparent. Going to look at everything that needs to be looked at. We're giving the homeowner the information that they need where maybe, they couldn't get that information themselves. Like you talked about, not everybody is a roofing or construction expert here, and we are the experts. We've done it for a long time. So if you want somebody in the area that's been here for that long to give you an honest answer, hey, what do I need to do here at my house? What do I need to do with my roof? Give us a call. I mean, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Jody, anything to add to that?
Well, not really. I'd say maybe touching a little bit on that last question you asked for. a yearly roof inspection.
Yes.
I kind of thought about that. You know, if you live in an area where you like a lot of trees, like I do, that's probably not a bad idea because you have tree branches come down a lot and could do a little damage here or there. That'd probably be the only reason you would want to have a roof looked at that we put on every year, is if you're living in a heavily wooded area. Because other than that, probably every 5 years is great. And again, like Ryan said, there's no pressure. We're not coming out to inspect your roof to give you a new roof every time we're on a customer's roof. We're going to give you an honest assessment of your roof. If it's going to last another 5, 10, 15 years, we'll let you know that.
Or maybe if an Iowa derecho comes through that we've been seeing more of lately.
Yes, obviously, yeah, for sure.
So those things tend to not be great on homes. But guys, well, okay, you've given us all the information we need to know. So get your roof inspections done at least every 5 years. Call these guys at Peterson. They know what they're doing. 45 years in the Quad City areas. They don't hide in grocery stores. So kind of our big joke, guys. I love that.
New motto. We don't hide in grocery stores.
Put it on the side of a truck.
You know, that's kind of a funny little slogan. We might have came up with something good here, guys.
All right.
We don't hide from you in the grocery store. So it kind of says a lot about your business. But guys, as always, it's been not only educational, but it's been a lot of fun talking to you. We always have a lot of laughs and we learn a lot. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I look forward to the next time we get together.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.